So episode 14. Episode 14, another one I love to talk about is, and I think everyone else does, is budget control and where does the money go? Well, on my case, the money went into the engine and all the parts. So it wasn't just my engine. I've had transmission, I've had brakes, I've had suspension, I've had literally everything. And it's costs that you don't think about because you think a modern car don't normally have all these problems, so you don't tend to think that far in. And when you start to get down to having to rebuild engines and transmissions and things like that, I hope you don't. I really hope you find one that you or your car doesn't necessarily need to be a DeLorean, but I just hope your car doesn't suffer like mine did and give you loads of issues. The other issue is I want to use my car regularly. I don't want it just sitting in the garage, so that in itself creates more problems because old 40-year-old cars can have issues. I've known DeLorean owners with daily drivers, not an issue, and it's been brilliant if you've got a car like that. I wish mine was, but that's why I wanted to share my experiences with you and just to say the money can spiral out of control if you're not careful. So where did my money go in this project? So I'd say most of it went on the refurb again of the car, and I did spend a lot of money on the Back to the Future, I must admit, but nowhere near as much as if I'd purchased all the parts or had it made. So I did save a lot in that respect, but certain parts are really expensive and you just can't find them, so you do now and then have to buy those expensive parts, like the reactor core at the back. That is a titanium piece from an injection nozzle from an aircraft. Near on impossible to find. Luckily now, in this day and age, with all the 3D scanning, they've actually made and fabricated a proper part for that now. I think it's basically out of aluminium, so you can get these parts now, but when I started it was just a little bit difficult to find these bits. So some of the parts get quite expensive, like time circuits and things like that, but you have to go with the flow on these things. But it's just making sure you've got enough that it doesn't halt the project, because once the project's halted, it is really difficult to get started.